Balance is important in life, and for yourself, because the preference without discipline eventually turns into addiction. Selective perspective without control turns into ignorance. Have the ability to balance your perspective with criticism and create questions and answers from the primitive perspective and the knowledge that you learned. What do you prioritize in your daily life? And what do you do to keep your lifestyle? You work to maintain your life, and the responsibility that you have balances your daily life. If you lose the responsibility, the preference that you have turns into addiction, and the balance that you had will collapse, and you will see life fall apart. It sounds scary, but it is true. A building can easily collapse by losing one pillar because it loses the balance. Balance doesn't apply to just our own life, but it applies to all the matters in the world. Previously, I talked about the preference. People instinctively make decisions with their preference, and it makes you lose the balance in another preference. The perfection that people seek for might be the balance. Keeping a system in balance is difficult, even in the games. If you played games, you have heard about the balance patch because there is imbalance in the game system. One character is too strong that can change the whole game, which brings inequality. After the patch, the character gets weaker, and some weak characters get stronger. There will always be adjustments as game updates and new character releases. Game is a good example of how society is trying to balance the inequality in society. The goal of balance is to harmonize and make the system fair for people in society. The shape of the balance is not like a vertical line or a straight horizontal line, because every person has a different shape, and the balance in society is to make people in different shapes fit in the system that has been built already. Like I mentioned previously, life is unfair because everyone is not equal. They are born differently with different talents, environments, and abilities. Therefore, it is impossible to make everyone equal. However, people are working on making the society balanced by assistance, and rules are applied. There is eligibility to prevent people from abusing the assisting programs, and still, society can't make everyone in the world happy because people have different perspectives, and there is jealousy. We have to understand that balance is not as easy as it seems, because at the end the purpose of balance is to make people satisfied with their life. However, we are living in a world where people can watch other people's lives. People are more connected than ever in history, and the ideas spread fast through online. It is one of the reasons why it is hard to make people satisfied. Medias show what people want to watch and play what they want to hear, and the preference of what we pursue reflects through online. As much as we are addicted to the media, it is hard to see the world in a balanced perspective. Balance is like standing and walking. If we lose the balance, then we end up falling on the ground. Also, we lose balance if our senses are affected. For example, people bump and fall in the darkness. People are scared to walk in blindness. If we lose perspective and point of view, then we will eventually fall. That's why we need a balanced perspective. Balance comes from discipline. Without strong discipline, it is hard to balance because people have emotions. Emotions make us do something unnecessary sometimes, and controlling the emotion can make you balanced. That's why we need discipline, not just from you, but from others as well. And it is impossible to make every person have discipline, because we are living in a world where we pursue freedom. We have to remember, the freedom that we are pursuing should be freedom towards our lives, not from our emotions. Contradiction is what we face while we are pursuing the balance. Dilemma and sacrifice follows the balance just like shadows. We have to think that in the world that we live in, there were sacrifices from many people and many lives to build the current system. It means there will be more sacrifices as we try to develop our society and our personal lives. Being responsible means you will eventually have to sacrifice what you have to keep the balance in our lives. Do not be scared to lose what you already have. Life is like walking continuously, but with the basket full of what you earned, and even if you lose, you have to move forward. As much as you move further, sometimes you forget what you lost. You remember what you lose once the basket that you carry gets lighter. That's the moment you stop and look back and try to find what you lost. It's the phase where you hesitate and where you have to make decisions. Whether you continue to move forward, you get back what you have lost. It is the phase where you have to decide how you would balance your life. As long as you have the ability to keep yourself balanced, then you will be able to stand even though the world collapses. If you can't change the world, change your perspective towards life. Having an ability to understand the world means you have a balanced perspective. There is capacity in the box of life. You can put as much treasure as you want to, but there is a limit. Balance depends on your choice. How would you like to fill your box of life?